Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Hope you're all doing well. My name is Danny and today I will be attempting for the third time already to share with you my thoughts on Kingdom, A Legendary War first performances. I am already super late, but I really wanted to still share those thoughts with you because I took some notes. I watched the episode just one time, but the performances countless times now, and I really wanted to do something new, something different for my channel. Actually, the first time that I filmed this, the files as I was exporting them or importing them to my computer, everything got corrupted and I was like, yay, life is awesome. And then the second time I was not even able to film it completely because my neighbor's kids was going crazy playing outside, which is cool, but then my cats decided to start going crazy as well, which is like, okay, not that cool. And then my neighbors upstairs were like having files, and it was like at some point I couldn't even hear myself. Let's see if I'm able to finally share with you my thoughts. So for those that don't know, Kingdom, A Legendary War is the follow-up survival show by Mnet of Road Kingdom that aired last year. I made this entire series reacting and reviewing all the different performances in which we had like 6 groups going against one another and doing amazing performances every single week. Before that show, we had Queendom, which was amazing as well, with amazing groups and with one of my favorite groups of all time, Mamu. So with all of that being said, of course, I was really excited for this new show. So last year, the Boyz won the show. So now they are part of Kingdom as well. And with them, we have iKON, Ateez, BTOB, Stray Kids, and SF9. And it is actually the first time that I'm able to say it in one go, which is amazing. And I watched the first episode. It is like an hour and a half long, which is pretty long, let's say. It's really lengthy, but I do really like to see the behind the scenes of how they make all of those different performances and seeing how they build everything and how perhaps stressed out they are. So I did really enjoy that side of it, and I do every single time. I also really loved their interactions. So as they were coming up to the stage in the very beginning of the show, we had the boys being the first ones, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Ateez followed by Stray Kids. And all of a sudden, the ambience, the atmosphere became really cold as every group was like, holy shit, this is going to happen, this is happening, oh. And so it was really cool when BTOB entered the stage and they were like able to break the ice and just crack some jokes, have fun, and just make that everyone could chill a little bit. At the end of this first episode, they were like keeping the suspense and not sharing who ranked first, second, and sixth, which was like, oh. And because I am already late, I already watched the second episode, only half of it for now, and we actually have the full ranking, and I can sort of compare my ranking with the real ranking or the show's ranking and see if I got the same thing or not. For the second episode, actually only 3 performances were done, and so I thought that I would combine episode 2 and 3 together. But before we do so, of course, there's a disclaimer. This is only based on my thoughts, my opinions. If you do not agree with my ranking, I completely understand it. You can tell me in the comments down below, share your own thoughts about the performances, tell me that I'm wrong, and you can even share your own ranking of all the performances. This is just for fun. I tried also not to be too bias. I know that I tried my best, but there's always a little bit of a bias, perhaps if you like more genre or type of performance, but still I kept it to the bare minimum. And so I hope you understand it all. And so at number 6, because we have to have a last group in the ranking, it is SF9 with Good Guy, the Glory version. I did really enjoy Good Guy, so when I saw that they were performing that track, I was like, ooh, I like it a whole lot. Also, that they were the only ones going in a very different sort of direction and concept with a much more mature look and a sexier style with the suits. They looked very elegant, and they're all stunning. And also love the fact that they open up during the show saying that they have this sort of very untypical career, as they are, most of them, more known for their acting careers than as a group. And so they really wanted to prove what they can do as a group, and that motivation, I enjoyed it a whole lot. But actually what made me put them in the sixth place was the structure of their performance. Their performance starts with one member holding a sort of crystal, and that was really intriguing. And then Oteang is in the back of the stage and he looks at the camera really fiercely and he moves towards it, pulling members towards him, and they look all super good. But I thought that section was really long and lengthy and it didn't really need to be so much. And I know that it's nitpicking, but when it comes to it, I was like, okay, when is it picking up? And then when it did, like the two members started doing their dance break, and then all of the members came together and then they started the performance of Good Guy, especially when that member goes, they looked so freaking good. And that part, I did enjoy it a whole lot. And I wish that it was longer and that they shortened it a little bit, that part that was more like modeling or something like that. And I was like, okay, let's move on to the performance. So overall, I did enjoy it. When it comes to their vocals, I can't really say for sure if they were singing on top of the background vocals, the pre-recorded vocals. At some points we could hear the members' voices peeking through, and some others it was mostly the pre-recorded vocals. So I don't know for sure, but I think because it is the first performance, it's kind of ballsy to do it like that right away, doing live vocals as well, alongside the very difficult choreo that they had. Talking about the choreo, it was really intense and I enjoyed it a whole lot. And I think like with their suits, it gave this like Kingsman or even James Bond aesthetic that I enjoyed a whole lot. Moving on, we have number 6. No. Moving on, we have number 5, and it is for iKON and Rhythm. I was really excited for it. It had been a long time since I had watched them perform this track, and it's one of their like really popular tracks. So I really wanted to see how they would perform, especially in the Kingdom atmosphere. And I must say that the choreo was really cool. The very beginning with the formations, with all of the members looked really nice. They seem to be having such a great time on stage, and just for that I already love it a whole lot. But I must say that still, in comparison with the groups that performed higher on my ranking, I still think that they were still testing the waters a little bit and not knowing exactly how much they should do. And I feel like now that I've watched the second episode's performances, I do understand that they went all out for that one. I just think that they didn't utilize as much the stage as some other groups did. And actually SF9 did utilize really well the stage in that sense, even compared to iKON. But I think that iKON was really having such a great time on stage that I just couldn't help but smile, especially when Bobby was like smiling, not even caring about his mic. So I even think that they were not really caring that they were lip syncing at some points. They were just having so much fun together, and perhaps they were singing on top of the pre-recorded vocals, but still they put on an amazing performance, like they were doing a live show or something like that, and they were having fun, and it seemed very like charismatic and upbeat, and that I enjoyed a whole lot. I don't remember who I put at number 4. At number 4 we have Ateez with Wave Overture. They start the performance with the pirate ship storyline, which is like their whole concept. All the members are like falling to the ground, they look very sick. Jung is like going through all of the members, and all of a sudden all of them go to the floor, and he all of a sudden spits blood, but it doesn't really come out, and actually explains during the show that he really wanted to spit it out so that it can be seen, but it didn't happen as he wanted. But still, it looked good. But then it got like really intense. I'm loving this intro. Then they say Akuna Matata. Okay, you lost me. And I couldn't help myself but just chuckle a little bit. So still, then I really loved how intense it was, the high, and everything. It was just so freaking intense. Wooyeon is the one that is catching my attention more and more. Like, all the members are so freaking charismatic and they pull it off so freaking well. The entire performance was really intense. I just thought that perhaps they could have like put more emphasis in the way they sing as well, but I know that it is a 100-second long performance. I did enjoy it a whole lot. I think that Ateez is definitely one of those groups that will push a little bit the boundaries of what a boy group can do, and they are set for greatness for sure. You can mark my words. They would like doing backflips and the one take performance, one shot, and how they had to move, because they are the youngest group. They were actually the first ones to do the performance. They are still very new to the industry and those types of shows, survival shows and everything, so they were really stressed out, but I think they pulled it off really well, especially when it was San, oh, I'll put it here, but he takes the torch, the flame, and he goes, and then he goes on top of Chungho's back, and he's like, and the thing is that they have to hold still until the camera stops filming, and it's like, oh, they have to hold for such a long time, and you see them like the fairy ending, and they have to just and they're out of breath, and it's like, come on, stop filming so that they can rest a little bit. And also, all throughout it, we can hear their vocals, and it's so freaking nice. I wish that they could have shown a little bit more, but perhaps in the second episode they will just showcase their powerful vocals all the much more. Talking about vocals, number 3, we have BTOB with Beautiful Pain. After all they went through and the amazing releases that they had put out throughout the years, I was so happy to see the 4 of them together for Kingdom. And when I saw they were performing Beautiful Pain, I was like, oh my god, I love it a whole lot. And it made me like really want to rediscover BTOB in a way. When I heard those harmonies in the beginning, and even during the show, how they were like practicing and showcasing their vocals and talking about their struggles and everything, I was just like, oh my god, they sound so good. And then we have Eunyeon with the rap, and it was really cool because we could clearly hear them. And of course, there's not as much like performance as the other group, especially the 2 first ones, but still I was just in awe with their vocals and their presence and just how freaking good they are. Like, the performance of it was simplistic but so effective, so beautiful. They were the only ones wearing all white, and it was so high notes, the harmonies, the ending. Oh my god, the ending, his vocals killed me. I just really love that. And of course they didn't use as much the space as the other groups because of the lack of choreo and everything, but still beautiful. For me, the vocals really took it to the whole nother level. How they were pouring their heart and soul through this song, and it's called Beautiful Pain. You felt it all. It was so emotional. I did really enjoy it. So number 2, we have Stray Kids with Mira. And from the looks of their outfits from the very beginning, I was like, okay, this is going to kick ass. Oh, okay. The leather. And so actually they decided to go with sort of wolf theme for this performance, which was like very like animalistic, and I think it really goes well with Miro as the MV for it, as the tiger reference, if I'm not mistaken. The performance starts out with Eugene, and they actually are carrying like a sort of knife, and it really sets well the mood with all the black and everything. And then all of a sudden they come all together and they're like holding onto a green light. I don't know what it is exactly, but they come all together and it's only the green light that is shown, and it feels like it is the eyes of the wolf. And I was like, oh my god, this is going to be so freaking intense. Then Felix starts with his lower vocals, and actually during the show, as they were rehearsing, he was the one making most of the mistakes, and he was really stressed out of it all. And I was like, okay, you were really stressed out, but how you changed for the performance is amazing. He killed it. So he had actually to go and jump on top of two members, as at the same time another member went under his legs and just flipped over, and I was like, oh my god, the timing. And then he had to move on to another section of the stage as another member came to the other side, and another one went in between the two and just did a backflip. Like, okay, totally normal. And I did really enjoy how they utilized the stage, how they started right away with a very immersive and intriguing performance, and it just felt all of a sudden that it was one of those performances that grabs you in instantly. Eugene has amazing charisma. Like, they were dancing, their dancing skills are so freaking good. I'm no dancer, but it looked good. And then they were still holding like the knife, but it felt like the way the transitions were done, it was to feel like, okay, now it's your turn to take the knife, and now it's your turn. And so that I enjoyed a whole lot, but it was a little bit too dark on stage to notice that properly. I actually had to watch the performance countless times in order to be like, oh, okay, it sort of makes sense that they decided to do that. Then we have Han and Felix rapping together, and it was really interesting because we could clearly hear Han's vocals, but not so much Felix. I don't know if it was because he was really stressed out and he was like, okay, I'm nailing the performance, don't care about the vocals. Perhaps, I don't know. Then Chanbin goes and like starts rapping like crazy, you can clearly hear his vocals, and he has like a firecracker, and he's like, holy shit. Then they start all dancing together. Banchan just goes like, okay, I'm the baddest bitch here, and he goes, paf, like a grenade, a green grenade, which is really cool because it keeps the theme of the green and everything. And so then it just does like a backflip, because why not? And he's not even getting the help from the members, he's just like, and how the end of the performance really looked so freaking nice. The level is just like out of this world, and how creative it all was, especially singing live. So now let's move on to the last piece of my ranking, that is the Boyz with the Stiller epic version. The Boyz performance was just a roller coaster of emotions with so many things going on, and it left me just like in awe of how good it is. And after what they did in Road to Kingdom, I was like, okay, perhaps for them it's going to be either really easy and they'll be like, okay, we've done this, we're so at ease now, easy peasy lemon squeezy, or it's going to be like extremely difficult because they've done it all. But apparently they're like, yeah, easy. Oh no, it's actually really hard. They had to come up with new ideas how to create this performance, and what they did during this performance seemed to be so freaking difficult, and how they were training it all, and how they were like failing it countless times before the final performance. It just blows my mind how they were able to still perform and just give it their 200%, and at the same time know that they failed it before during rehearsals. So they stopped the song right away. You were like completely invested in the performance, like with the Maya Dick. I don't remember the lyrics, but it's just like so freaking intense, the two members. I just love how creepy it was, and especially with the Stiller, you can really take it both ways when it comes to the lyrics of it. Like the formations and everything goes so freaking fast. I had to watch it like a million times, and every single time I'm like, oh my god, he did that, oh. And so at some point, like all the members like transition, then all of a sudden one member is just like, and I think he is Sangyeon that is like laying on his back on top of another member, and then when the performance starts, like the Stiller starts, he goes up, and I'm like, oh my god, Junggan, the way he whispers is like, oh, Funwo's rap, oh, I just love it. And how they were playing and the effects that they were creating with the hands. Like he's like rapping, all cool, all chill, everything, and like they were like two hands like going on both sides of the camera. Not the same effect as here. I'll put some images here and there, but it looked so freaking good and it was so creative. We had not seen the other groups play with the camera in that way and enjoyed it a whole lot. And there are so many details, so many things going on, and I took notes, but it's one of those performances that I was not really able to just write everything, because at some point I just stopped taking notes. I was just like admiring it all once more. But like the how freaking impactful it is, and it's the moment that all of them come together and you have like an overtop view and all around it, and the choreo, the contemporary dancing, they all looked so freaking good. The poses, once again, I'm no dancer, but as an audience member I was blown away by this performance. All throughout the performance I was like, okay, there's not like a lot of live vocals, if any, or perhaps they were singing on top of pre-recorded vocals. I don't know for sure, but one thing is for sure, I can like not care about that because of how good this performance was. And then of course we have the ending of the performance with Julian going like, and he's so dramatic, so epic, and he's like falling down. And of course we've seen the members of the Boyz falling down countless times all throughout Road to Kingdom, but it was the first one for this show, and I was like, okay, this is a lot. Okay, and when he falls, it was dramatic, and then they do like, I don't know how they did that, but he was like just making him fly once more, and how he landed was so perfect. And I know during rehearsals he was really worried about that sequence, but like stunning. I loved it, and so far this performance was really, really nice. And I already watched episode 2 performances, so so this is like overall my ranking for the first episode, week 1. I really want to know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think about all the performances? Which one was the one that really surprised you the most? And before we end today's video, the final ranking actually was Stray Kids, The Boyz, BTOB, SF9, Ateez, and iKON in the very last place. But I must say, I think that will change a whole lot in the next episode, but we'll see. I already watched the performances of BTOB, iKON, as well as The Boyz for episode 2. I will be making a video on it all when we watch episode 3 when it comes out on Thursday. I hope that I will be posting this video before that, otherwise I will be late forever. And yeah, guys, I really want to know every single thing about your own thoughts on every single one of the performances. What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? I really, really want to know, because like we can start a discussion and fangirl and fanboy over this new show. And I know that I'm not doing reaction and reviews, and I am tired because it's already midnight here, but still I really want to know your own thoughts and opinions about it all. Are you excited for episode 3 like I am? What did you think about all the performances from episode 1 and episode 2? We can share our own thoughts and opinions down below. Okay, I'm rambling and it's not sounding good. I don't think editing me does it sound good. Okay, so either way, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and even click that little bell icon so you are notified whenever I post new videos, which might be a whole lot. Thank you once more, and before I see you in my next one, take care, enjoy yourself, and yeah, bye. I changed my ending, my outro. I'm lost.